Hello, focus. I also just watched David Lynch's, it's like a little documentary on YouTube about like his transcendentalism and transcendental meditation, and it's really cool. I would definitely highly suggest checking that out. Yeah, a lot of people want to ask him about his movies and about the baby in Eraserhead, and he's like, let's talk about meditation. I don't know, all the coolest people are like, you know, have taken that kind of next step into the next realm. David Lynch and Ram Dass and all that stuff, it's all connected, right? Like it doesn't, artist of all walks of life, and he talks about this too, like you can be a toilet cleaner and be an artist, and it's so true. You can, whatever your craft is, like you, when you master it, that's when you become the artist. And so it's a really cool video. I'd highly suggest checking that out. I can probably link it somewhere. I don't know how to do that. I don't actually know how to really do YouTube, so hi. This is gonna be raw, unedited, unfiltered, kind of, hello, just waking up. Kind of day in the lifestyle. But we're just gonna go through and see if we can start a clothing brand. I guess maybe I should talk a little bit about the brand. So I always wanted to make clothes, even ever since I was a kid. Every single school assignment I have, I can probably put pictures up of them. I still have them. Every single one is like, when I grow up, I'm gonna be a fashion designer or a scientist. And I already did the scientist part, so it's time to do the fashion designer part. So I feel like it's time. And now I have a baby, Slimmy. Hey mate. Who's getting 2 teeth? Are you enjoying your breakfast? Yeah? Nice. Hi, Dad. So I felt like, you know, there's a lot of things that you can do with a kid's brand that you can't do with an adult's brand. It's a little more whimsical, a little more forgiving space, I think. I don't know, I haven't really stepped into it yet. But I feel like designing kids' clothes, I don't know, I feel like things for kids are always disregarded as not as important or artistic as things for adults. I remember when I was in film school, we had a whole discussion one day about how if you work for an animation company or if you work for a kids production company, in the industry you're not as highly regarded, even though you might be a master at your craft. If you're doing kid stuff, it's like, oh, it doesn't matter, or it's, you know, not as prestigious as if you were to do adult things. And I think that's wrong. I think kids deserve beautiful things. I think kids deserve things that are made with intention. I think maybe that's why I'm drawn to the Waldorf pedagogy, because it's, you know, it honors the child. And so while still being whimsical and being fun and free, making sure that the kids have those beautiful things, I don't know, and have things that are made intentionally for them. I think that's important. So this is for them. Artistic, thoughtful. I want it to be fun, whimsical, and just really like play and imagination and be, you know, let kids be kids, but also like do it in a way that honors the kid and not just an adult's imposition of what they think a kid would want. I guess maybe that's what I'm doing as well, but I don't know, we'll see. So my biggest inspirations obviously are varied, but they are all pretty much for the same reasons. Rada. I love, obviously, David Lynch. Ram Dass, I think, is pretty influential. Rudolf Steiner and the way he speaks about children, and the reverence that's held for the child. Also, Robert Hunter is the lyricist for the Grateful Dead. Him and David Lynch actually have a lot of similarities in the fact that they say, you know, once the artwork is out there, it's there to be interpreted. It's not the job of the artist to explain it. So it just you have some pancake in your nose. Yeah, so it's up for the interpretation of the consumer or the person viewing the art, which I think is cool. So we'll see how we go. I'm gonna give myself like a week to put together a collection. I have hundreds of drawings, thousands of ideas, but I think to create something cohesive, I'm gonna need to pare it down a little bit. So we'll see how we go. I'll check back in a week and see if we achieved our goal. What do you think, mans? What do you reckon? I think the Sunshine Coast, where we live in Australia, I think Australia in itself is like a pretty cool market. Sometimes I feel like it's a little bit ahead of the United States. Could be seasonality, like we get summer first, so we can like implement high fashion into ready to wear quicker. I don't know. But I feel a little bit like this place is very similar. Everyone likes the similar kinds of things, and I think those things that those people like, I don't necessarily like them. So I just want to make something that I like and something that's I think would be cool and fun. I don't know. We'll try. I've also been reading this book. Although I love the color of it. Pink and neon green. I just got out of the library. It goes through like the history and stuff. I'm trying to find some inspiration in here. There's so much actually. It's just absolutely jam-packed with info, which is cool. You like the book too, huh, Means? But like just the like reference photos. Look at that, it's so detailed. And also it's helpful because it gives you like the actual name of things. Like instead of Google searching like Greek outfit, it will say, oh, actually this is a woolen hemation. Woolen hemation. Elegant gestures. Anyway. Yeah, it gives you the actual name for things. Here we go, here's another one. Peplos, draped loosely over shoulder. It looks like that. It's cool. So, I've been trying to get through this kind of whenever I have a chance. I love reference books. And I thought this was probably a good place to start because, well, fashion, clothes, it is the visual guide.